You might think that booking flights is the first thing you should do when you're planning your Ireland vacation, but it might not be. Today I'm sharing a few flight tips and tricks to help you get the best prices when you book your flights to Ireland. Booking flights can feel kind of like a nerve-wracking game, right? It's like, do I book now? Do I book now? Do I book now? And that anxiety can lead to early clicks, and sometimes it can lead to higher prices. In my flight monitoring process, I outline how I determine when to book flights. And you can listen to that in podcast episode 131. But what it comes down to beyond the timing is patience. And I understand, especially if you have specific dates that you have to travel, that it can be really, really difficult to be patient. But what I've seen in working with clients through the years is that you can actually book too early. So today I wanted to break down the reasons, 4 reasons maybe not to book your flight too early. If you're looking for a unique taste of County Kerry, I want to make sure that you know about my friend Neil, who owns Kingdom Whiskey Tasting Events. Neil, share a little bit about what people can expect if they have a tasting with you.
Kingdom Whiskey Tasting Events here in Kerry offers private tasting experiences for small groups and large groups, and using 100% local Kerry spirits. So we work with local distilleries, local bottlers and bonders, and give you the full overview of Kerry's spirit landscape. Our experiences are designed for novices, connoisseurs alike, and we offer them all across the country. So no matter where you stay, indeed in Dingle, Killarney, Tralee, Kenmare, or literally any place, we can bring your personal whiskey or gin tasting experience right to your doorstep. You can learn more by visiting our website. There you can see all the details about the different tasting experiences, and the website is www.kingdomwhiskey.com.
Or you can use the link IrelandFamilyVacations.com/KWTE. What this all comes down to is the flight price fluctuations. Say that 4 times fast because I had to re-record this spot like 3 times to get it right. Anyway, flight price fluctuations. So when you're tracking your flight prices, you can predict a little bit what might happen, but it's not a foolproof indicator of what the flight prices might do. Airlines are using dynamic pricing algorithms to adjust prices based on demand, competition from other airlines, and market conditions. And due to these constant changes, booking too early can sometimes result in paying higher prices for flights than if you would have waited just a bit longer. So, the reasons not to book your flight too early. The first one is that airline tickets are released in phases. The first batch of tickets are released 10 to 12 months prior to the flight. For international flights, it's about 12 months. And what that does is it targets the business travelers and those who are willing to pay extra to get that seat early. Each batch of tickets that follows has a different pricing tier that's based on how well the route is selling and the seats that are remaining available. So if you're watching your flights and you see them come out, a year in advance, and then when you check them, if you watch it and you just look at them 6 months later, most likely those flight prices have come down unless it is a holiday season or a busy travel season for some reason, like the end of August into Ireland. Don't even think about it. Crazy, crazy high price time to buy tickets unless you're buying them in a package of some sort, just due to the events going on in Ireland and the promotions around them. Same for Christmas. Christmas is a very expensive time to buy tickets to Ireland because you have a lot of people going home to see family. The second reason to not book your flight too early is because promotions to Ireland are very, very common. Aer Lingus is Ireland's national airline, and they run specials through the year. There is usually one just after Christmas, right around New Year. There's always one at St. Patrick's Day. That is quickly followed by spring sales, and then there are discounts in the summer for the autumn. So you can regularly um, kind of set your watch almost by the Aer Lingus deals that come out. And Aer Lingus is adding more and more international gateways across North America. So, what you find with that is that you have the legacy carriers across the country mimicking and even undercutting those promotions that Aer Lingus is putting out. So, if you can pay attention to the timing and even watching when the flight deals are coming out, even before you think you're going to want to travel, it's a great way to get the rhythm of the promotions and sales. So, in all honesty, I would get on the Aer Lingus email list just so you can kind of pay attention to when they're running specials and when they're running sales. Because when you're ready to go, it's going to help to have that information. The third reason to not schedule too early is that flight schedules can and do change. Airlines will adjust flight schedules based on need and demand. And if your travel day has multiple flights, and especially if your flights aren't booked on a single ticket, it can cause a huge disruption in your travel plans if your flight to Ireland changes, or mostly your flight to Ireland is probably not going to change if it's direct. But if you have a flight that you have to get on to get to that flight in Ireland, and those tickets aren't combined, you could be arriving too late to catch your flight. Or if the tickets are combined, you might be on a crazy mid-morning flight and find yourself with a 6-hour layover. So just keep in mind that if you're booking a year in advance, more than likely you're going to have at least one schedule change on those flights, if not more. And then finally, fluctuations in demand can create price spikes. So, flight prices are adjusted in real time as the airlines monitor the supply and demand on each route. So, if demand is high, prices will increase, and if demand is low, then they'll decrease. So, early demand on a flight will spike the rate. So, let's just use August again as an indicator. So, at the end of August is the Aer Lingus college football game. Well, the demand for that spikes the minute those tickets are announced. The minute the schools that are playing in that game are announced, things spike. 1 year prior to that game, when people want to fly, those prices are going to go up almost immediately. And then they'll go down a little bit, and then they'll go up a little bit. So knowing that if there's something going on at a certain time, that the tickets are going to start high because there's going to be a surge of demand. And knowing that they're going to come back down and kind of keeping an eye on that little bit of a roller coaster is going to help you to get the best price. It's never too early to begin your own Ireland vacation planning, and I have the resources to help you with every step. The Planning Your Ireland Vacation series guides you step by step to create your own amazing Ireland vacation. You'll find answers to all of your Ireland travel questions, including the best time to visit, how to get around, and even how to plan an itinerary, as well as some you may not have thought of yet. To see the entire series in order, visit IrelandFamilyVacations.com/planning, PLANNING. So, when do you book your flight to Ireland? There is no exact perfect time to book a flight to Ireland. I wish that my crystal ball could tell me exactly when is the best time for any day of the year. But experts say that the best time to book an international flight is between 2 and 6 months in advance. So I begin monitoring my flight routes when I decide on my travel dates, and that could be a year or more in advance. But by watching those, I know when to buy. And what I do is I note them into my planning documents. And I'll usually find what I've found is the best prices from my airport. And I almost always fly from Chicago into Dublin. It's a direct flight, and it's usually the one that is the best price for me. I usually find the best deals on those flights between 6 and 8 weeks prior to departure. And that doesn't vary whether I'm traveling solo or with my family. Um, I've never had an issue buying seats for my family of four, 6 to 8 weeks prior to departure on the days that I want to travel. If you're not a frequent traveler, I hope that these flight booking tips have helped you to, take a deep breath and realize that it's not too late to book your flights, and give you some actionable advice that is going to be able to help you make the decision of when to purchase and getting that best price for you. If you enjoyed this podcast, would you leave a 5-star review at Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts? If you can't leave a review on your podcast app, you can visit the Ireland Family Vacations page on Facebook and leave a review there, or go to Trustpilot at irelandfamilyvacations.com/trust and just say something nice. I would really appreciate it. If you have questions or comments, you can email me, Jody, Jody, at irelandfamilyvacations.com. As always, thank you so very much for listening, and until next time, slán go fóill.